Look at this go. Zaki inside the 200 metre marker. A one active fair in the Doomebn Cup. It's a mile in front. They queue up the minors. Toffee Tongue, Brandenburg, Natoya further back of Villiers, but Orchid Zaki won't get any more impressive than that. Here's the star. Zaki is romped in the Doomebn Cup.
Welcome to Brisvegas, our Queensland Racing Winter Carnival show. I'm your host Scoot, and I'm joined by Tommy Turbo and John Mcleod from Macbet. How are you guys?
Thanks.
Looks a magic day up in Queensland at the moment, but here, I tell you what, COVID lockdown here, and Dan Kelly, he was in quite a mood. He was absolutely furious filming Bet Doctor. He was kicking the cat. He was absolutely filthy, but no problems up there. Jamie Carr up to Brisbane, and yeah, you've taken all the talent out of Melbourne, and it looks like an absolute cracking card up at Eagle Farm on Saturday.
Tell Toys that I'm going fishing, not this Sunday, next Sunday for 4 days while he's in lockdown. That'll be good for him.
Oh, and how's about... and Tommy Turbo's already put in a bit of a holiday pass as well. I think he's got a fishing trip or a little holiday away. I tell you what, he must be making a fair earn on the punt. Tommy?
Yeah, definitely not after last weekend. I think a lot of punters out there had a tough time, and that was definitely me included.
The punters that found Zaki, wow, it looked like it ran through a brick wall. There's some hot tempo early, and it just careered away. All the rating guys are absolutely pulling themselves. What did you think of it, Johnny?
Yeah, I think it just it did go through to another level. That's for sure and certain. But the big thing out of the win was prior to the race, a lot of the yard blokes, including myself, we're just a little bit hesitant about it because it's winter coat had come through, and we just didn't know whether it's toted turn for the worse or the better, and so a few blokes dropped off, especially after seeing it at the Gold Coast, and then they've thrown the tickets in the air and bailed, and I sort of joined them. I sort of bailed out a little bit myself.
Sensational win. And where are you filming from today, Johnny? It sounds like you're at Currumbin Wildlife Sanctuary.
There's no birds around. It's the back of the house. I've detoured away from the park because I'm allowed back in the house. There's no open house today, so I'm back here and just sitting around the back here. And there's the back of the house over there.
Gee, that's brown.
Sitting down here.
That's brown enough to be. River. Oh, it's brown enough to be the Yarra. I'm surprised. Peter Volandis calls the Yarra the smelly brown river, and there's a bit of brown about that, but. A little bit of brown was in the back of my pants last week when Emerald Kingdom, $81 into $21. I completely missed the early price, and then I forgot to back it. I had a bit of a brain fade on Emerald Kingdom, but it popped back out to about $34 with TopSport on the death, and wow, it was a findable horse. I was just absolutely sick on myself. What did you think of the win, Tommy?
Oh, it was a very funny race in the end. Garibaldi left a very sour taste in my mouth and a few others. He looked to be absolutely trucking there on the bend, and just he didn't really put in when Bossy asked. They didn't go out very fast. They went out 1.3 lengths slow. Nash on, I think it was Sir Coney and J-Mac on special reward, and they just kind of handed up, and look, nothing really chased. They came home 3.4 lengths slow that last 600. In the stewards report, Groundswell thumbs, Saucony saw front fetlocks, Skins pulled up with mild heat stress. So a few had issues, and it was just a very, very weird race in the end.
Maybe got away with one, but something else we talked about, probably I think it was episode 1 of our Brisvegas shows, was this issue about horses being allowed into the yard very late and not even parading whatsoever. This horse is public enemy number 1 up there, isn't it? Emerald Kingdom?
Yep, Emerald Kingdom. I don't even think he did a lap. I think he did half a lap and went straight out, and that was the same with Skins. I didn't even think I saw Skins. I'm not sure about Johnny, though.
Yeah, I think it actually did a little bit more than it normally does. Skins. I think he went around a couple of times, sort of thing. And I'm not 100% sure about Emerald Kingdom. It sort of wasn't even in my focus. I don't even know how you've done that, Scoot. You're a genius coming up with it.
Well, I was so smart that I didn't back it. I saw the price go off, and I was too caught up in the Lone Wool stream and a pretty busy week last week, and I couldn't take 21 after 81 was given. I'd hope it popped back out, and I caught up for dinner with Nick Ashman on Saturday night, and he found it. He took 60-1 Emerald Kingdom, so it was findable, but I'm not that smart, mate. I didn't pull the trigger and bet. I'm an absolute moron, but a horse I did back.
I was talking to Robbie Heathcote yesterday about it.
Uncle Robbie.
And he said, he sort of said, I had a little bit of a gift on the weekend, and I said, you surely did. Just going forward out of the gates and just letting everyone else grab hold. It was funny because everyone in the world thought there was 1,000,000 miles of speed on, and they're going to go 100 mile an hour. And Robbie just decided to say, okay, we'll just go forward. That's its plan, and keep going. And the rest of them, they all grabbed hold.
Backed off.
That can happen. Sometimes whenever all the talk about it, there's no speed or there's plenty of speed, everyone listens. They change. Everything changes. So you got to have a plan B. That's for sure.
It's the old, I guess we've spoken about it many, many times. Why would you give up tactics, and why would you let the opposition? This is a competition. This is a race. Don't tell everyone what you're going to do pre-race. You got to keep that up your sleeve. And a horse that showed no muster early, which was a surprise for it, was Bargain, a horse that we launched into in the Roses. It was a pretty good run, but it was all too late, Johnny.
Yeah, he just got himself in a little bit of trouble. I don't think he did too much wrong early in the piece, but he got shuffled back, and then I think it was the winner that was on the fence and then pushed it 3 wide, and then he had to sort of ease and let it go through. And I think the winner just showed a bit more turn of foot than what the jock was thinking on the other one, on Bargain. And he pinched a break. Bargain wobbled on the corner, but then finished the race off really good. So there's no complaints in the way the race was run. The speed was there. They didn't run home real quick. Everything was there to be won. But just one horse showed more turn of foot on the corner, and the other one wobbled. So he just lost the plot on the corner and lost probably a couple of lengths, and that's what was the big difference.
It's going to be a fascinating meeting with some real trick shots coming out of that race day. So make sure you head around to MacBet Racing and get some of their action. And another guy that you tipped up, probably a month ago now, was Kyle Wilson Taylor, KWT. How's he going? A little bit of an update there, Tommy?
Yep, he started riding in the Metros, I think 2 weeks ago now. He's had 16 runners for 4 winners, so he's riding pretty well. You'd think there's a lot of claimers here that take a long time to get rid of their Metro claim, but he'll be one that'll probably get rid of it pretty quick, especially when he goes forward on horses. He's just able to lift them off the ground late, kind of like a Natural Wheeler type style. He does still have his chinks though, like from wide draws, he can get a bit lost. He can't really bully his way into the field like he can in the provincials. These Metro jocks are a bit smarter than those, but he'll improve with experience in that matter.
Still one to watch. So yeah, if you've been following the show, you've been probably making a good little earn on his his wide venues that he's been kicking home some winners. So yeah, keep following KWT. A big show today. It's the guys are going to do the quaddie leagues again. So we've got lucky here. We've got the Sires Produce and the Queensland Derby. We've got the Kingsford-Smith Cup and the Helen Coughlan Stakes for fillies and mares. But this show is brought to you by puntingform.com.au. They're Australia's best online form database. They're used by the big syndicates, and the sectional pro form's just been upgraded. Fantastic stuff there. You got lanes and barrier data that's brand new to the market, and you've also got jockey and trainer combos. So they've opened up more of the vault there at Punting Form. So make sure you check out their pro form subscriptions for around $297 per month. It will definitely give you the winning edge. We'll take a little bit of a break, and we'll come back and we'll preview the Sires Produce. Welcome back to Brisvegas, our Queensland Winter Carnival show. I'm your host, Scoot. I'm joined by the Windsor Weasel, Tommy Henjak, and Johnny Mcleod, the boys from MacBet. And it's time to look at the quaddie leagues. Going to start with the Sires Produce Stakes. We've got odds courtesy of TopSport on the screen now. Prince of Boom, the Robbie Heathcote 2-year-old here, is $4.20 favourite. We've got Ranch Hand, $7, Port Louis, $8, and Converge, $10. These Southern Raiders are now starting to head north, and stake claim against this Boom, this Prince of Boom horse from the Robbie Heathcote yard. He always seems to just find himself a horse. He had Rothfire, he's trainer of Buffering. He's always got a good one in his stable, and we're going to have a look at his last start win, and Tommy Henjak will talk us through the race.
Yeah, as you said, Scoot, Robbie Heathcote, he seems to be coming to life now at the right part of the year. This was him in the orange cap, just getting the suck run on the inside. But look, you could say he had the dream run, but he put him away pretty easily, I thought, in pretty good time. The big danger here on the weekend is the barrier. He's drawn 13. However, Heathcote runners, they do tend to run well at Eagle Farm. So that's a big tick in his favour. But I also think like a horse like Ranch Hand and Tiger of Malay, they're going to be 1 and 2 pairs in front of him. I think they're just going to give him a perfect toe into the race. And I think he will be able to get down the outside with how I think the track's going to play. I think the jock's probably looking to get 3 to 4 lanes off, so they'll be coming down the middle.
Waller's notorious for taking a good 2-year-old colt to the sires and then on to the JJ Hatkins. Is that the clear danger, Ranch Hand, do you think?
Yeah, I think Ranch Hand is a big danger. Obviously, he resumed there first up at the Gold Coast in a really fast run race, and J-Mac kind of had to cut the corner. He didn't have a lot of room and was stuck there on the inside. Got beaten by Subterranean, who we see again. But I think Prince of Boom's the better form line. Waller's also got a horse here called Giannis. Now, he's a 2-year-old colt as well. He was the short price, well, it wasn't short price, but I think it was about a $4 favourite in that main lead-up. They just kept backing him, and he was vetted pre-race behind the gates, and look, they still weren't jumping off. He still kept firming, so he'll be an interesting watch. I think he'll be better onto a bigger track, but I think he's still a bit immature, and probably one that Waller will end up spelling up here, and look for him later this year.
There was a horse that got heavily back last start. It was a massive plunge. The horse was called Port Louis from the Mara and Eustace yard. I think it was what was it, a Canterbury and a Randwick it was a really odd setup actually. It was probably 2 starts ago. It was absolutely poleaxed at Randwick and in the Champagne, and it was coming off a really awkward setup over 1200 at Canterbury, and I think it's had a little bit of a pipe opener at Rose Hill in preparation for this, but that was a runner that sort of piqued my interest until I saw your speed map, Tommy. This horse, Port Louis, is going to be miles back. Will it be run on, and what do you guys think about this horse?
Yeah, I think he does have a little bit of speed, but just the gait and the 5 weeks off, whether they're looking for next start, I think it will improve, but he definitely was a horse that caught my eye. You're right, he was backed off the map in that Champagne Stakes, going from 1200 to 1600. I think a lot of form analysts out there were looking to get away from the main ones in the betting, which is why he kind of stood out, and they really did come for him, and it was a big run on the day. It's just, as we've seen through the carnival so far, horses coming off breaks, it is very tricky to run up to your peak first up, and they do improve big time second and third up for their grand finals.
What about you, Johnny? Any thoughts there?
That hoof filler just worries me. It's got synthetic hoof filler on, so it's got to have bad feet. That just really worries me where it's going to get to. And he turned him sideways to get clear the other day, and he dashed home. It was a nice run. It's just, my problem here is just all these gates. I'm sort of thinking maybe even Invincible Tears has got a little hope at good odds. I see Tom's got he's got it lower than the market than what we've got it, and so it's got the right gate. If they all get caught wide, these favoured horses, well, it's not hopeless.
It's a fascinating betting race, and you're getting a good price if you can find the winner. Let's have a look at maybe an easier race to find a winner. Is race 7, the Queensland Derby, Group 1 over 2,400 metres. Odds courtesy of TopSport on the screen now. Explosive Jack, 290 to 270. Well, it's looks short to me. Senor Toba, 550. Let's Crack a Deal, 850. And you're getting double digits about all those others in the market. There's a couple of roughies, and let's have a look at the last start win of Explosive Jack. And Johnny, talk us through this. It was he's now won 3 derbies.
This is Maranoa. This is the one in front, the yellow there. Now, they've gone out really fast here. I think they went out about 7 or 8 lengths above average, and it's kicked on really strongly. I know the horse that's beat it isn't that crash hot, and I think it might have been about a 50 to 1 shot, but just the way that it did it and running along really quickly, I don't think there's if Sagacious comes out of the gates and doesn't want to lead, well then Maranoa will cross it and get a better lead than what it did there, and it might give a good kick. I think you're sort of suggesting maybe Schnitzel's over 2,400. Is that a real query? But and it could be. But I love the Schnitzels. I think they can do anything, and I think it's got a little chance at nice odds if it gets left alone by Sagacious. If Sagacious kicks up, well then it's a different story.
It's regally bred, this horse. It's by Schnitzel out of Faint Perfume. Many people will remember that mare as well. But Nick Noonan was in the office earlier, and he was a bit worried it might not run the trip, Johnny. 2,400 metres was a big query for Nico Noonan. So if you want the side action, if you want to bet a slab of Little Birdie Lagers, make sure you get on Twitter and slide into Nico Noonan's DMs, because he thinks that Maranoa struggled to run out the 2,000. So stepping up to 2,400 might be a chink there. Let's have a look at now at Explosive Jack winning the SA Derby. He's won 3 derbies now. He's won Hobart. He's got the job done in Sydney, and he was emphatic there at Morphettville last time, and he's absolutely put a space on Let's Crack a Deal. And my only concern with this one, guys, is can the Mar Eustace team peak this horse again?
Yeah, that's the real question about this one. It's a couple of weeks ago or last week, I was sort of saying I was trying to give Senior Toba the one to beat because he's going to be strong at the finish. But just after going through everything, Explosive Jack is just a real genuine type of horse, and he just doesn't let you down. Like the other day, Let's Crack a Deal had a definite best chance of all times of knocking it off, because Explosive Jack was 3 wide with no cover, got pushed 4 wide. It might have been a little bit better being out there a touch, but Let's Crack a Deal had to sit on it, and he made no ground on Explosive Jack at all. So he's just a genuine horse. I think he's going to be probably 3 to 4 lengths in front of Senior Toba here, and you're going to have a horse that's genuine, can run the 2,400. There's no chinks in its armour. You'll keep going. Whereas Senior Toba's has done a few things wrong. He's only had a couple of starts, and he just got 20 gate. He's going to have to probably go back to last and make a decision on when he goes. So I'm swinging. I'm swinging over to Explosive Jack, and the only reason I was sort of saying Maranoa is that if they don't go very fast, that's the way that these 2 horses can get beaten, Explosive Jack and Senior Toba. So if they don't go fast, I'm happy to have something on Maranoa. But if they go along pretty quickly, well, then I'm hoping that Explosive Jack can hold off Senior Toba, and Senior Toba does a few little things wrong in the run.
Yeah, it's an interesting jockey switch. I'll have to get my sources to tell me what's going on. J-Mac off Senior Toba to ride Cucaracha, and Huey Bowman goes on Senior Toba. So whether it's the owners or we'll have to do some more investigations into that, and if we can find out, we'll definitely tweet it out. But I'm still in. I still think that Senior Toba can cause a boil over here. It was dead as a doornail last start, and it's just typical of Waller to peak them for the grand final. And maybe, just maybe, Explosive Jack might come to the end of his preparation, and that's what I'll be doing. I'll be pulling his tail for sure. But fascinating stuff. And yeah, Maranoa, trained by Gay Waterhouse. If anyone can cause an upset, it's definitely Gay on the backup. It's a good little angle that you found, Johnny. If he can run the 2,400, I think he might be a rough chance. We're going to
going back to Senior Toba, Scooties, and he's run 2 starts ago. If you believe those sectionals and believe what it did, it's got a hell of a lot better chance than what I have. I've got it, but what I've done is I've sort of started to go a bit weak on that run, just because the horse that runs second, I think, come out at Doomebn the other day and didn't finish the race off at all. And the other horse it actually come out and won Achiever, but it rated a bit about a length and a half lower than what it did in Senior Toba's race. So I'm just sort of thinking Senior Toba's race is a little bit
chinky,
questionable. Yeah, chinky, definitely. That's what I'm trying to sort of. That's why I've got away from Senior Toba, just because I've started to think that that second run or that second last start, there's a chink in it.
Make sure, I think the big syndicates and the big players will find Explosive Jack for sure. It's got that 2,400 metre form. It's got a good jockey, good gate. So if you're, there's just no reason to rush into a horse like Senior Toba or many of these roughies or something outside the favourite. I think it's pretty obvious, pretty well found Explosive Jack. Maybe it's the one that's going to keep on shortening. If you're betting this weekend, make sure you check out topsport.com.au. They're Australia's biggest bookie. And we're going to take a quick break and we'll preview the Kingsford-Smith and the Helen Coughlan just after this break. Welcome back to Brisvegas. I'm your host, Scoot. This is our Queensland Winter Carnival show. Well, this is a halfway mark. This is 5 of 10 episodes down here, and I'm with Tommy Turbo, the Windsor Weasel, and Johnny Mcleod from Matt Bet. The boys have been on fire. If you've been watching the show, you've been backing plenty of winners, and it's not going to stop. We're just going to keep crushing through until we get to Caloundra Cup Day. Here's the Kingsford-Smith market up on the screen now. It's a Group 1. It's a 1,300 metre race. There's not many 1,300 metre Group 1s. Should be more of them, I think. We've got Savatiano, 5 into 390. Real early push there. G-Tra, $4.80. Trekking, $8.50. Vega 1, $13. And Sava 2XL is $14. The replay that Tommy Turbo is going to call up here is Vega 1 behind Eduardo. So interesting to see what he says here.
Yeah, I've chosen Vega 1. I think there's a bit of value here. First of all, you've got the big jockey switch here. You've got Glenn Boss off with Magic Hands, Jamie Carr going on. Look, I didn't think this run was all too bad here in the Doomebn 10,000. They went really hard out in front. He was there on pace. He had to push to get out, and I really liked his work through the line, especially fighting back to go past a horse like Trekking, who loomed like he was going to win, and then just popped there. 4th up now, I think he's ready to go. The big concern for me with Vega 1, though, is the gate and also the potential speed in the race. However, I think at the price, think he's worth a little each-way play. The speed in the race looks to be Jonker, who's coming 63 days off with a setback, and also the one you mentioned earlier, Sava 2XL, who was the Goodwood winner. Look, I'm not thinking, it doesn't look like to be a whole lot of pace. They'll probably go at a moderate clip. So it probably does set up perfectly for a horse like Savatiano. She's 35 days off. Similar configuration to what she saw in the Group 1 Canterbury Stakes, which is 1,300 metres. They went a moderate clip there, and she was pretty strong home, defeating the likes of Mizzy, Masked Crusader, and Bivouac. Look, Bivouac didn't come up last preparation. And it wasn't really a strong Group 1, but look, on paper, this doesn't really look like a strong Group 1 either.
Yeah, it's definitely wasn't a vintage Goodwood, I would have thought, but I'm surprised with Sava 2XL. I think $14 is a slight over there. G-Tra probably wasn't fit enough first up, and it's probably D-Day for him. It's an interesting race, and I can remember last week Johnny Mcleod was saying that he wasn't too keen on any of the horses that finished behind Eduardo. Is that still the case, Johnny?
My oath, I got to go against Tommy. This is. I'll go down with the ship with Vega 1 if it wins. I just think that he's, they're bad chases. Trekking's going terrible, and it's only just beaten it, and even Arovian, he's more a miler, and he's come to the line better than it. So I think that race is the only horse that I could even contemplate backing for the future is Arovian, because it's going to get stronger as it gets further. So, but it just does look a set-up race for Savatiano by your map, Tom. It just seems to lob into the right position, and they're going to have to come from behind it. Horses like Trekking, who's not hitting the line. Vega 1, I don't think it's come up. G-Tra's got the bad gate. Where's it going to get to? Jonker, as you said.
Yeah, I wasn't sure where else to go in this race, honestly. Like, G-Tra's I thought the resuming run, look, he probably wasn't fit enough, but I thought he's got to improve a fair bit off that run. He was coming off, I think he had bone chip surgery as well before the preparation started. So there's a big question mark on where he's at in his racing life. And yeah, the wide gate doesn't make it any easier for him.
What about the Sosie Bond?
Yeah, Sosie Bond maps to get a really nice run as well. It's just whether he can be as effective over 1,300 metre. He did have 2 really good runs at the start of this preparation over 1,400 metres, which does put him into calculations here.
And Victor M was one for the trial pervs. It went like a Learjet in its barrier trial. Thoughts there?
Yeah, Victorum, he's won a race up here at Eagle Farm in the Carnival once upon a time, I think.
Yep.
He's coming off a really good run there. I think it was at Rose Hill where it was a big rails and run day. He was back and wide, hit the line hard with horses like Outback Barbie. It's just the jockey is one of Johnny's favourites, Mark Duplessis. And look, the inside draw, I'm not sure how much of a positive that is for a horse like this who's going to get back in the run. Going to have to get a fair bit of luck, I'm thinking, but definitely in with a chance.
Fascinating market and race there. Let's have a look at the lucky last, the Helen Coughlan Stakes. We've got Sweet Deal, a horse that Johnny Walter tipped up on Bet Doctor last start when it won, $5.50 into $5. We got Liar and a Theory, $8.50. Madame Rouge, $9, and Exhilarates, $9.50. This is a 1,200 metre race for fillies and mares. And the replay that we're going to call up here is Sweet Deal in its win at Hawkesbury. It's in the blue and red, and it was a real workmanlike victory, this. Really knuckled down. Johnny?
Yeah, it's got the red sleeves and the red cap there, just bullocking its way out behind the yellow colours there, just come to the outside. You know, what it did early, it did hold a little bit of a position early, and then it just got shuffled back and into a position that probably was... it had to make up a lot of ground through a good sectional, and it attacked the line. It's just running away from those other horses behind them in a sectional that it probably shouldn't have. If it was able to just get the leader down, you'd say, nice win. But it was able to get away even further. So I think, if he tries to hold some sort of position here, Nash, I think it's going to be very hard to beat. And I think the $5 or $5.50 that's out there is huge odds.
What price have you got it?
$2.30.
Wow.
I'm playing here because I think there's an opportunity to close up shop. I think Intrepidatious went really good at the Doomebn the other day when they went 100 mile an hour and it dashed clear and got run down by Outback Barbies, but it was on the better part of the track, Outback Barbie, and I think Intrepidatious will get a lovely run in front, so it's something around about the $10 to $12 mark you might be able to throw something on.
Yeah.
And the other one is Madame Rouge. I think it's a horse that if she finds her right form, she's one I want to save on. She's a nice horse, and I think from that inside gate, if the fence isn't as bad as what we're all thinking, and if she can get away, or they all start rocking and rolling out wide, well, she might be able to just detour her way through it, and ping the lids and chase Sweet Deal. But I just hope Sweet Deal just gets down in Trepidatious and then holds off Madame Rouge.
Johnny, I'm sorry, but that last minute of whatever you've just said is a complete blur to me. I've heard you say $2.30, and I'm just finding my bookie, as Mug Punter says, mate, if you've got something marked $2.30 and the market's $5, I am robbing everyone. I'm going to snip Mark in the office, snip Nick O'Noonan, and I'm going to just absolutely truckload this thing. It'll come at the right time of the day too. It's late in the day, so no mucking around there. So that's race 9 at Eagle Farm. Sweet Deal. It sounds like the biggest push on the show all day. Let's have a look at a couple of the TopSport Big Bets. These are the early bets that TopSport have laid, and they can pluck a winner, these early market movers. The first one is Eagle Farm race 1, number 2, Grand Piano. It's been 21 into $10. Tiny little two scratchings there. Superior's 15 cents, and so is Wonderful Riri. Any thoughts about Grand Piano?
I think it's got a bad gate. It's going to get back in the field. I just trying to remember
race
the horse somewhat. Yeah, I only just finished that race, and I'm pretty sure it gets back in the field, so it'll need a little bit of luck.
And I see Frachinelle, a horse that Johnny Walter liked in Sydney, has been scratched from Randwick to start in this one, and it's been a short favourite there. It's been 3.10 into 2.45 with Magic Hands, Jamie Carr, as Tommy Turbo calls it. I tell you what, you might have to social distance from Jamie Carr there, Tommy Turbo. Don't lean over the fence there, big fella.
There's not a shadow of a doubt he'll be doing it.
I'm going to say something to her. I'm not sure what yet.
The other bet that we've got here is race 7, number 4, Achiever, in the Queensland Derby. So that's 500 at 18, and that's now into what is it now into? It's still at $18 actually. TopSport haven't moved the price there. Fluker's chance.
Yeah, well, it's one of those horses that is going to probably sit up on the speed, and that's coming out of Senior Toba's race. It led that day, and Senior Toba got over the top of it and ran past it. So I'm sort of half thinking that race isn't as good as what it first looked. So
okay. All right. Well, Sweet Deal's definitely the best bet from Johnny Mcleod. What about you, Tommy Turbo? What's the best way to play Saturday?
Yeah, I'm probably going to have a look at, I'll have a bet on Prince of Boom. And I think race 2, Superium, is a horse that I'm also going to chuck something on.
Ryan Maloney in the John Hawkes yard. As I said, it's been scratched from race 1, and it's a $3.60 chance with TopSport in race 2. So plenty of meat on the bone for the listeners at home. Make sure you get a pen and paper and write these down. And good luck on Eagle Farm on Saturday. If you want more of, if you want race to race of Johnny's stuff, he does the 3 to 5 minute out video on all the action up there at Eagle Farm. So head to @MacBetTips or MacBet Racing to get all their insights. But that's another week done and dusted, boys. Enjoy the sunshine, enjoy the freedom up in Queensland. You guys are absolutely airborne, and down in fresh hell Melbourne, me and DK will just soldier on for another week in lockdown.
Oh my God, there'll be things thrown out the window, I'd say, already.
I think the final thing that DK said was, thank God, he's going out to the wine shop. I think he'll drink about 7 bottles, or it'll be a bottle of wine a day just to get through the homeschooling, I think. So pray for DK, and hopefully he doesn't get too many more scratchings and abandonments with his DK out wide sets. Big thanks to our sponsors, TopSport and puntingform.com.au. Make sure you check out Punting Form. They've got the new features on their database at the moment. And make sure you follow us and Bet Doctor, so Brisvegas and Bet Doctor, for all your racing news each week on Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, and Little Birdie TV on YouTube. We'll see you next week.